Greetings and welcome to my little corner of YouTube. My name is Lindsay Pogue. I am the author of the Savage North Chronicles and the Ruined and Forgotten Lands. And today I am answering the question. This is actually going to be the fourth book out of 5 that I think of when readers ask me which of my books is my favorite. Sorry, can never think of only one. So let's get started. Okay, this book is so important to me on so many levels, and it is Earth and Ember. This is one of technically four installments in the Forgotten Land series. It is the story of Luke and Kaya, who are from two completely different worlds. They are born and raised as pretty much mortal enemies. It is very Western meets Native American, meets kind of gas lamp Victorian feel to it. But it's also very otherworldly in a way. And it is an alternative history is essentially what it is. So this book is everything to me, and I'm going to explain why. So when I first started writing the Forgotten Land series, it was like a homecoming because it was a type of series that I absolutely wanted to read more of. And at the time, I hadn't found anything like it. It has a flair of history. It has a love story, but it has like epic adventure and that really gritty world building that I absolutely thrive for in my stories. I think that's why I like British and period drama so much, because they always feel so gritty and real to me. So anyways, I had just finished Dust and Shadow, and I had put it aside, and I went and I wrote the entire Savage North Chronicles series. 7 books, okay? So I took a very, very long break from the Forgotten Land series before coming back to this book. And when I did, again, it was like I was returning home because I had been in a post-apocalyptic contemporary world where people who survive a virus that riddles the world and kills just about everybody have superpowers, So this was something where not only could I write in a world that did not have technology, which was such a palate cleanser, I needed that so badly, I also got to go back into a world that I absolutely love. When I finally got to start working on this, it felt so good and I was so energized, and this story came so naturally to me. I feel like there's always a couple blips in the writing process in a story where you kind of have to take a step back and be like, something doesn't feel right. When I was writing this story, that never happened to me. Luke and Kaya were very vivid and real in my mind. The world was very, very real to me, very vivid as well. And so everything just flowed really, really nicely. So not only did it feel good to be able to dip my toes back in a world like this, where Mother Nature is undoubtedly the most epic villain of all, it was just a very beautiful story that really touched my heart, and I have never been prouder of a character than I think I am with Kaya. She is one of my favorite female characters. She's so strong and unwavering in so many ways, and she's just beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful in all the ways that matter. And her story, her adventure, and her love story with Luke is kind of timeless, The other reason why this story is very important to me is because I am a history major. That's what I have my master's degree in, history and culture. So history is very fascinating to me. Culture is even more fascinating to me. What's one without the other, right? I did a lot of research to do this book. Now, I was very, very careful not to overstep, in my opinion, and I wanted to do these cultures justice because this is fiction, and it is written in a location, Arizona. There's a lot of indigenous cultures that live there, and I I really wanted to make sure, like, I was fascinated by how these people lived off the land for all these years in the desert, and how they lived in the mountains, and they actually carved their homes into the side of cliffs. Like, those were the things that I wanted to pull from, and I wanted to create this world because it's just so fascinating to me. I did have somebody that I consulted as an American Indian ambassador. I consulted him on my story because I didn't want it to be offensive, and asking him, what are certain things that I can pull from culture? What should I stay away from? That sort of thing. When I got feedback saying that my book was, and this was only after reading, like, I think the prologue, because I don't even think it was out yet, saying that audiobook narrator saying that my book was egregiously dangerously misappropriated, and essentially an insult to every American Indian that is alive. So when I got really negative feedback about this book, my heart dropped because I was devastated. Because when people use words like misappropriation and dangerous, and they start attacking your character and make it sound like you're purposely trying to hurt people, it's soul crushing. That being said, going back to my friend Farron, who really helped me through all of this, I started to feel a little bit better. I had more people read it. I got more feedback. Long story short, this book and I have a very, very convoluted relationship as far as when I see it, the emotions that roll through me, pride and fear and just awe and cringing a little bit. It's hard to explain, but all in all, I am so proud of it. I think it's probably my most underrated book. Back to some of the other reasons why I absolutely love this book. I had so much fun weaving Dust and Shadow into it, because Dust and Shadow was like this really hot sandstorm desert setting where everything was dying, everybody was thirsty. It just like really had that old westerny feel, and I absolutely loved that. So it was really cool to be able to go back and introduce Kaya into Luke's world, because Luke is from the Dust and Shadows world. And vice versa. We get to go into the mountain. We get to see what it's like to live in there, and what their struggles are and what their fears are. And we get introduced to some really colorful new characters, and, little Toby's introduced. So if you have read it, you know who I'm talking about. Found family is just something that has always shown up, very accidental, but has always shown up in my books. And I'm realizing that also is the case with Earth and Ember, because Toby is our little runaway in so many different ways throughout the series. And going up to the mountain with Kaya's people is... I forgot to mention that there will be spoilers in this video. But anyways, those are a few reasons why I really enjoyed Earth and Ember. It's really great to be able to go back and revisit the Dust and Shadows family that I created there, to see where their lives are after Dust and Shadow ends. Because I know a lot of readers were like, what happens next? What happens next? And I really feel that Earth and Ember, even though they're both standalones, Earth and Ember helps carry on what Sagebrush goes through after Dust and Shadow ends. So if you haven't read Earth and Ember, sorry for the spoilers, but definitely give it a chance. And I will see you next time as I finish answering the question, what is my favorite book I've written to date? I have one more left. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will have more of these videos coming out. So be sure to leave your questions in the comments below, or email them to me so that I can get them on my list to answer for you as I start answering all the questions readers have sent me over the years. I will see you next time. Thank you for all your super thanks. You know that I love you, and see you then.